essentially just a few homes, and I'm retiring in about a month. My job at Highland Ranches was similar to having this discussion, entitlement of everything in the ranch. Our goal and our process has always been, before we submit to the county for their approval, we like to meet with homeowners that are impacted by whatever we're doing. And clearly,
Do it like at a library at night where more people can come.
would you like to postpone today and meet tomorrow?
No, what I'd like to do is I'd like you guys to give us some information so we're better prepared for the next meeting. Because we're very prepared for this and we're not.
Okay, sure. By the way, we had one before and we invited folks at one of our apartment communities to be there, and this is what came out. The last time we did meetings at night, people complained because they didn't want to do it at night because they had other things to do. So I guess it's kind of a don't win, but we'll win no matter what. We'll do it whenever you want. In fact, we'll do it 10 times. We'll do it at your house.
I would love that.
Give me your address. We'll do it there.
Can you build me a bigger house?
We could. It's not zoned properly, but we'll try.
Neither is this.
Neither is this. That's kind of funny.
That's a whole different stuff. And by the way, just for clarification, in the PUD for Meridian Village, it allowed an X amount of units. It had allowable uses in different planning areas. For instance, that planning area there was not allowed use, was not residential. It's a process, it moves around, and that's kind of the intent of PUDs. It's been, the Meridian PUD has been changed 17 times. But let's get back to this. This land originally was to be given to Douglas County for an elementary school. It was actually in the PD when we were 85% built out of Meridian, they would construct an elementary school. Over the years, we encouraged them to do it because we thought it added value to the property. They chose not to. They picked a site in Sierra Ridge and they picked a site in Lyric to do it. At the time of this, Lyric was just a dream. But now it's not. There's a school there. It's based on density population. I don't know what it's based on, but we wish they had built a school. The only other school interest we've had here is a charter school. Wanted to build a school here. At the time, Douglas County did not want a charter school. The school district put it in their surplus property category. I've only known of that happening twice.
So at the time they didn't want a charter school, what year was that?
Well, there was one 6 years ago, there was one 3 years
Okay.
ago.
And what is it currently?
It's currently zoned, the allowed use is school and park.
Okay, so school means it could be under residential.
Yeah,
So it's school or park?
yeah, that's what the says. It does not say could be residential.
Okay.
It says school or park.
Okay, so park's good.
Park's good.
Yeah.
Park's good.
We love a park.
Park's great.
Yeah.
So under the PD also, it required the developer to do certain improvements in the parks via a Metro District. We all pay Metro District taxes. And that was involved in it, as well as various improvements for the roadway and whatnot. The other thing that was required when the PD was approved is a will serve letter from the Meridian Water District and Sewer District saying this is the capacity we have. That capacity was enough for a school, other uses here, as well as all the residential. And there's a little bit left over, but not much. And that's very typical for development in Douglas County. Water is number one, sewer is second. The XL stuff is a little bit different, but they always seem to be able to serve. Again, 5-acre park did not include the little pocket park on the other side of the street. That was added by the Metropolitan District, but not as a requirement. When we met Gene and a few others here, we asked, what are the concerns? The concerns are we don't want it. Concern number 2 is our views are good. The kids are using this ground, albeit trespassing, but they're using this ground and we were promised to park. I'm not sure who promised the park, but the park was always contemplated in the approved uses. And at the time,
Was water not their concern?
excuse me?
Was water not the concern?
No, because it isn't a concern. We have a Wilson. Any development. That's the first question. Water is not a concern. There's plenty of water through here.
Parker does have a great water system. Always have. I moved into Highland Ranch in 1987.
We're in Meridian
How'd I do?
Water District.
You're not doing so good right now, so.
Okay, but give me some time. I warm up the
No, honestly, I think in a low, I don't know, you have apartment buildings here.
Uh-huh.
You got oodles of apartment buildings down
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
And plenty of space.
And I just,
And you know what? When we built these houses, we had oodles of houses around.
houses are different, so you know.
No, I don't. I think that's social engineering, and I disagree with that. Let me finish my.
Okay.
I wouldn't want houses either. I think we've got plenty of those going in.
I don't need anything.
We don't need any more growth.
Right now they're hot because interest rates are high and you're forcing people are being forced to
Look
make
at that
rent
gray
decisions.
crap across the road.
The market changes, when the market changes, then we have
Oh, I understand that.
he's retired.
No, I care because
Water is an issue for the entire state. I understand the bill curve and you see that drop big time. So
yeah, there's 100-year.
we all agree that water's an issue statewide and we keep building.
We keep building. We keep irrigating.
And we use water-wise landscaping on the premise, right? There's restrictions. In new development, there's restrictions to the amount of sod that you put in place, and whatever happens here will be under those new restrictions. Things that were in place previously had different requirements. Now policies are changing, and these have to adhere to those policies. So there will be more conservation. You know, in our properties, we put in low-flow fixtures to help with all that, and that translates to more water being available.
What kind of tax incentives are you guys expecting to receive from
Tax
federal or state
We don't have tax incentives.
for multi?
Let me finish presentation, then we'll talk about
Okay.
it. Any question you have, I can answer. And if you've known me for a while, I have a little bit of track record at Highlands Ranch, as well as I was on the water board for 25 years. So I do understand water a little bit. This happens to be a loop system with that, and we can get into the details later. So we came and met with Gene and some other folks. Said,
Who were
what do
the
you
other
want to do?
folks?
I don't have their names.
Well, you
People that
didn't
were
have,
here
you just,
previously
none of us
raised their
knew
hands.
about the
have-
meeting.
There were no
had
minutes.
HOA representation between different Meridian Village. Linda and others were here. John Dithmer from Advanced HOA. Sierra Ridge.
Okay.
And so we sent that information out about the April 3rd meeting, and we broadcast it in all the places that we had. I know John sent an email out. We got in touch with Stepping Stone folks too, so tried to spread the word out, but again, this time just trying to invite as many neighbors and HOA members to come and take part in this conversation as possible.
And let me reiterate, there's people here, there are people not here that should be here. We'll have another meeting. And there's a Douglas County process. You'll have a voice at that meeting as well.
And we're still talking about park.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the park is required. It's not hoped for. Okay, so we had an original plan that just laid out units. We called it a density plan. It looked like this. And Gene said, and others that were at the meeting, that heard about the meeting, they didn't like it because their homes would have views blocked. We had placed the architect had placed garages here. This site slopes about 25 to 30 feet down that way. But it wasn't enough. So we revisited it. In the meantime, we have conversations with the school district, and we say, okay, what if it is a school there? What's it look
How
like?
many units was this?
250.
Was that before the meeting or after the meeting?
That was before the meeting.
Yeah, we were
We
working.
never saw this.
No,
I
we
mean-
didn't show it to anyone.
Yeah,
Okay.
we were working on that, and then the meeting happened, and then we're here to talk about how we listened and
Okay.
addressed it. So.
Okay, let's see what you got.
So we always, I will tell you, for most plans we do about 20. We get the architect to give us the first idea, and then we massage it, and we work on it. That's what that was. The architect said, this is the kind of density you can get. This meets the marketing study. These are bonds from Douglas County Housing Authority, so it fit within that bond capacity. we want to build, and we build several, we can pick 4 projects within a 10-minute drive here of affordable apartments. Now, Madison, what's the price range for affordable? How much do people have to make? You got it,
right.
Vince.
Less than 58,000 a year on a single, 168,000 for a family of 4.
So it's about 60,000 in Douglas County. We're targeting 60% area median income.
It says 58,000 in the research.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's around that range.
This is the 2026 updated numbers. But
And it
that
will
was
change.
probably
It
last year.
changes every
Yeah.
year. So people making 60 grand can afford a 1-bedroom apartment in this type of community. You can go look at Apex 1, 2, and 3. We built them all, about 400 units there. You can look at the Sophia. You can look at the Audrey and Highlands Ranch. Generally, they stay fairly full, 96%. The senior tend to stay 99%. We've had people in some of our senior communities
But this isn't a senior.
no,
So there's like no elevators and stuff for seniors. So it's not really geared towards seniors.
no, it's not. And when we do it, we don't just gear it towards. It's a set 55. It's not. You have a choice. It is.
But we don't exclude anyone in our family products, right? All the types of products that we build, the ground floor units are accessible and accommodated for folks who have there's options for
I'm
everyone.
just trying to think how somebody making, what would the rent be on one?
Can we do this and then we'll come back?
Yeah.
Well,
Can't be higher than 1,500.
I'll stay here till 6. When the sun goes down. The school, one of the schools, did a kind of a preliminary plan. It's very much like Lyric School. It's natural lighting's a big deal in schools now, so it has a light here. This was reserved for a park. It's about 7 acres, 4.5 acres. Sorry, about 5 acres, and we had the park on that corner there. Part of that is there's a detention facility over in this park. We looked at this plan, didn't love it. I don't think Gene would have loved it because it blocked a lot of that. We did a cross section to say, okay, how will it impact? And we do this on just about everything. There's how the grade works. This is essentially a 3-story building. It's a block. We had our meeting. We talked about what were important, and what was important was the park, accessibility, and keeping it out of everyone's face on this side.
Right? And so in the preliminary studies, and obviously this will be adjusted as we go with unit counts and everything, but we're going to be generating, if we move this forward, 90% less traffic at the AM peak. So think about an elementary school, heavy drop off, right? There's school buses, there's parents, there'd be cars queued up down the road to get into the site and for pickup and drop off. So 90% less on the AM peaks. And then also we have the counts down here for the totals. So roughly 1,000 less cars on a weekday than you would have with a elementary school, right? So significantly less traffic with a residential development than what is currently an allowed use here that was supposed to be built.
So what does the green mean? 150 apartments plus a 5-acre park?
Right.
I thought this was just a 5-acre park only.
So that will all fit on this one site.
A 5-acre park and 150 apartments?
Yes. Yes. And it may be larger than 5 acres. We'll see how it all works out. But
So that 150, you're not going to propose increasing that and still give us a park? Like is that a happy medium?
we don't know exactly what the count's going to be, but
So
there's
what do you want?
150.
150 would be fine.
What do you think the max could be?
It's hard to
We're
tell.
not going to ask for much more. We don't want much more.
Yeah.
There's a sweet spot in it, especially you can get 150 allows you to manage it properly. 100 doesn't.
Yeah.
300 makes it real easy to manage, hence down the street. But they never seem to do a good job. Our sweet spot in our apartment's about 250.
How many buildings?
We'll show you in a minute.
And that also depends on
Where is down the street?
Sorry.
It's around the corner. It's in the middle of Sierra Ridge.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like
Copper
it's falling
step.
apart.
So we covered off traffic, right? We've done an initial
Low
analysis.
income
and
one as well.
What?
We've been able to show that the counts are going to be a lot less. So the impacts to the daily use of this land and adjacent neighborhood should be significantly less. And this will all be put into a formal report, submitted, it'll be public documents when we get to the PD amendment process. But we wanted to do this early to be able to share with you guys some initial information, yes.
Have you done any research and got the data on the crime?
Yes.
Here.
Well, not
Over there?
Not
No.
over there. We're not associated with that. You know, as John mentioned, we self-manage our properties.
It's pretty high.
And there's
Oh, I bet it is.
It is. It's
When
high.
you get that many people living in that environment, it's not great.
Well, also with the requirements of affordable housing in the state of Colorado, you're going to get crime, period. Doesn't matter
that's why
what
we
you try
moved
and
here.
do.
we can share studies that have been done by the state related to affordable housing and crime, and it doesn't show any correlation to increased
These
crime.
apartments over here have had a lot of crime.
Those aren't ours.
You can't
I
speak to that.
understand
We
that, but it's the
self-manage.
same type of facility.
It's the
Yeah.
concept.
Let's
Doesn't
talk about
matter whether it's yours.
why some do, some don't, what you do about it. We require credit checks, we require criminal checks. Not everyone does.
Correct, but if it's 5 years or older, you can't turn them away by Colorado state law.
We have
I don't think that's accurate.
It is accurate.
But
Look
what
it up.
is the rent? What is the rent for a one-bedroom apartment?
Madison.
It's about 1,500.
Boy, I'm losing control.
$18,000 a year.
I keep saying, well, it's way.
So
You need more boards.
$18,000 a year. Somebody's making $60,000 a year. So you're asking them to spend a third of their income on rent and pay taxes.
No.
And
No, they don't pay.
No, I mean, they have to pay federal taxes. and
Yeah.
They don't pay any taxes at all? Federal state taxes?
On their
I know,
payroll.
but you're taking that off the 60 grand. You're taking another 10, then over 30% of their outlay is for rent.
Yeah.
Do you have
Where do they live?
requirements
Well, let me ask
for
you
how
this
many
direct
people can
question.
live
How
in
do
it?
they live?
They could move to Aurora and afford a rental that
That's good.
price.
Let them do it.
There are many teachers that live in Aurora, drive by this site to get to work in Denver.
But how are you going to guarantee it's only teachers?
You can't.
No,
No,
I know,
That's
but
not-
you see, you throw that caveat out like it makes us all feel better. Like, oh my gosh, it's for our teachers. Of course we want good
No,
teachers.
no.
But you can't make that happen.
Can I address that real quick? So the House bill that passed allows for a preference for school district employees, okay?
It's government employees, and it's only 20 to 50% max.
So for school district employees is going to be the preference, okay? And we cannot guarantee that it's going to be this teacher, that bus driver, but there is a need. The school district has identified that need, has written a letter of support and given it to Douglas County saying, we really need this. Who would know better than the school district themselves that they have a
Did you
challenge
ask the teachers or
with
did you ask
staffing?
the school district?
This has been in coordination with the school district. Yes, and my wife is a teacher. My wife, I experienced this through our friends that live in the community at my wife's school that 45 years old have to have a roommate to live. This gives them the opportunity to have independent living on their own in a beautiful community. We try and do everything we can to make these apartments feel as much like home as possible. And to John's point, that's why we don't do density like Copperstone.
But it's not, it looks like you're doing some
But
things.
you're going
Wait,
to
whoa,
put
wait.
this many people next
From
to
your
each
photos.
other.
From your photos.
Finish your spiel.
Yeah.
So do we have the final one?
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
Well, you've had an opportunity to speak. I've had my hand up. I have a question for you on that specifically to the teachers. And maybe you know it, maybe you don't know it. Do the apartments up the street, can they still do that? The exact same thing that you're talking about with teachers and with educators and government employees?
Are we talking about Coppers?
No,
Talking about the
No,
ones
Lyra.
right there.
All the ones that are going along Ridgegate.
Yes, they could do it.
They can do it too. So.
Yeah. If they
Yeah,
choose.
it's
And
so
I'm from Aurora, a high school principal there, and we do the teacher next door program, and that's where our teachers are going. They have houses that come on the market, and the government has let them, if they would like it, at a really low income price, and they fix it up. They're usually really bad fixer-uppers and not in the greatest part of the world, but that's what they're doing. They're not shortage of housing for teachers in Aurora, so please don't say Aurora.
No. What I'm saying, and I know this for a fact, because I know, and I can I'll give you this website, and I'll tell you to go to it. I know what schools in Aurora are 60% or Title I schools.
Which is almost all of them, by the way.
It's a lot
It is.
because I
72%.
started. Well, let me finish
Yes,
my spiel.
72%.
14 years ago, me and another guy started a group called Food for Thought. We deliver food to those schools every single Friday. And we're a nonprofit. And we've been doing it for a long time. We serve almost 100 schools now. So I know a little bit about Aurora.
Now, every school gets
excuse me, let me finish.
delivered every Friday to take home with us. We're okay. Aurora's okay.
Let me finish. What I'm saying is, you can rent an apartment for the same price as you can rent these somewhere else. But it ain't in Douglas County. That's the problem.
Which means they're commuting, they're spending money on gas, they're spending money on vehicles.
But the reality is we moved here for that reason. It's the same reason we live out here and people commute to downtown. You're gonna tell them to move to Denver?
Yeah.
No, because we moved here to get away from these communities.
Can we just pause on the questions here and let them finish the
It's not
presentation?
social.
And
But
then
that's a
we can ask-
terrible. But that's a
you know
terrible
what?
example.
That's kind of offensive. because
It's a
what you're
terrible
saying is-
example.
What you're saying, essentially, I don't want to be around these people. And that's wrong.
I don't want to be around unaffordable housing. That's why I moved out here.
Okay.
That's why we chose this area.
There you go.
Based on
Good.
what this property was zoned for in the 4 different parcels, not just the one that's owned by Meridian.
And as a solution, why can't you guys repurpose or remodel some of these schools that's been shut down in Douglas County? Turn them into housing for teachers.
We'd love to.
There you go.
That's Douglas
There you
County
go.
Shelter.
There's your answer.
This happened to my wife and me in the 90s in Kansas, where property near us like this, we had a home about 3 blocks away, got rezoned all of a sudden without the community knowing. That was kind of neat. High density, lower income housing went in. There was immediate ripple effect. Those property values will immediately go down for those houses, will immediately go down for those houses. This is already a high rental area. There will be more rentals, which further lowers property values, and the ripple effect will continue.
Can we please
We ended
see
up
the
going
rest
from
of the
having 8 years of
presentation?
equity to being underwater, so we had to turn it over to the bank, and we had to move to another city for our jobs because of what that housing did to us.
John, please continue, and we'd love to see the rest of the presentation. Then we can ask all the questions after the presentation has done.
And by the way, this could be market rate if you like. This could be market rate apartments. We'd be happy to do that. We thought it was the right thing to do. Douglas County asked us. So what we've done essentially is move the buildings over here. They're 3 stories. We put about 7 acres of park here, along here. We've talked to the Metropolitan District about burying these power lines. So this is the new idea. Now, I will tell you, it says concept planning. It will never get worse than this in your mind. Because that's what you're going to say. It's going to get worse. It's not going to get worse. We're playing with grades. We got to grade this to meet this road line. But this is the plan that we're talking about today. Yes.
With that plan, are you going to put it level with the street, or are you going to grade everything flat down into where that drainage is?
Be about level with the street.
So then it's going to be even taller.
It'll be lower. I mean, so we have to match the grade of the road, right, where we tie in the new road, right? And so that becomes our limiting factor on what we can do with the grade. But our intent is to make the floor levels at the lowest point of the buildings as low as possible to try and create as much buffer between the apartment communities and the adjacent homes. That's what we heard as a request when we came out here last, was more buffer, and in our minds creating separation and trying to lower the buildings as much as possible is a solution.
Which this is my house, water tank.
That's always the water tank.
I don't know. Oh, sorry. It's pretty high.
They don't build schools, right?
Correct.
They're done. They're out of the
Yes. They said that they studied it in their land plan. They said not only no elementary school, but there's no land use for a school.
So that's not in consideration whatsoever.
Not from the county.
No, only a charter.
So, in Lyrica, did you build low income apartments?
No, theirs is all for sale. There are low income apartments.
Townhomes, they're not
Low income.
apartments.
They're not low income either.
Several
I couldn't
percent.
afford it.
Place across the street.
How many units are there?
That's a rental.
Those are rental, but it's not low income. And everyone's so bad.
That's what I'm saying. This is 7 units. It's not, we don't make this number up. They
Spend the money and give it to the people that need it.
Yeah, and that rent number includes utilities.
Okay, I have to say, compared
$1,500
to
bucks a
that
month, including
apartment
utilities.
complex over there, which, okay, we already have one in our community, and I don't wanna see this, I wanna be clear, but if we're gonna have it, Shea does, you guys do a really good job in making a good product.
Thank you, and I really wish one of you or all of you would come look at our plan. The on-site maintenance guys help, daily concierge help. If Mr. Shea walks in, he's not gonna.
You guys were more like, now you can say that we won't build more than 150. We will do this, but I just know from builders that 150 goes to 300, and that's not okay.
Again, that is offensive. If we say 150, okay, we'll say 150.
It's easy to offend that.
I know. I want to know what is done with it.
No, it's
What is his
no,
house?
I said 250. It's offensive to say you built. We're not you built.
I was the manager for 6 years as another city. And I've dealt all of this, and I'm telling you, when something is zoned and it's part of a master plan, it's zoned for a reason. There's many, many reasons why parks are needed and kids need to play and there's so many reasons.
We agree.
But I have over and over and over again seen, and I will say all of you builders, you come in with something that's puppies and rainbows, and people get excited now, and then they start losing interest. And at the end of the process, it changes. And I know that.
Okay, whatever. I'm not going to argue with that.
I know, because it's the truth.
No, it's not. It's not the truth. I've been doing this for 40 years. Ask anyone in Highlands Ranch.
Have you
Did
ever,
you see
have
things
you
get
ever
screwed
changed
up?
capacity or density on a plan?
Yeah, I did.
No.
Never.
No, well, why should we?
Then why can't you commit to a smaller number?
150.
He
So-
committed to that.
Yeah.
What about,
150.
I just have a question. This says future park. Who's gonna be responsible to develop and put that park in? And will it coincide with the apartment buildings if the apartment buildings go through? Is it gonna be a Shea responsibility? Is it gonna be a Douglas
It's
County?
going to be the Metropolitan District.
So the Metro District, so this is one half of the equation. You guys are gonna take care of the apartments and everything, and then we'll still have to work with Metro Districts for the other.
We will work.
Yeah. The goal is to develop it concurrently so that
Okay.
when the two things are done at once. So, one of our goals would be to minimize disruption too, right? Construction is not easy to be around, right? And so the better we can manage that, the better neighbors we're trying to be. And that's why we're here, right? That's why we're here to talk ahead of the public process. So we want to be.
Is that a promise from the district?
Part of the park.
It's in their budget.
Green thing.
For full disclosure, are you guys part of the Meridian Village Architecture Committee, anything like that?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I take that back. I'm off it.
Oh, you're off it
It's
now?
all homeowners.
I think your picture is still on there though. Maybe
It is.
we need to update it.
Little
Hey, Dan, when it was originally zoned for elementary school or a park, was that the elementary school or a full park?
No,
No,
It
there's
was always only 5 acres, and
there's-
the other was a.
the way it's written is 5-acre park, elementary school, and then what we haven't talked about was
The fire station.
Fire station, and so
Did South Metro shoot it down?
So they studied their plan too. They studied their land plan and said that this location isn't necessary for their response times. There's a letter that was given to the county that says we have other locations for our stations, and this is not a needed location. So they've done their due diligence and they have made that determination just like the school district has.
So these homes or apartments, the apartments over there that I want to put on not part of our Meridian Village, are these part of Meridian Village? They aren't allowed to use our pool or amenities, so are these people unknown?
Yes.
Okay. Also, we also were told 10 years ago that there'd be a pool over here. It's out of been considered instead of affordable housing. A pool, a clubhouse would be what we're looking for with the amount of homes that we have in Meridian. That's what we were told. We'd have a second pool. Hasn't happened.
Do you recall who told you that?
Richmond, as I
Yep.
signed my documents. It's true.
Oh, I believe you.
Yeah. So I keep thinking, okay, we need a clubhouse. Can we get a clubhouse in here? Can we get get another pool in here from you guys.
We'll dedicate the land for you if you'd like.
I'd love it.
We'll dedicate land to you.
But these wonderful
The
Well, wait,
homeowners have to pay for
there's
it.
just about
They've
7
already
acres.
said multiple times they're not going to.
The affordable housing piece.
But who's gonna pay for it?
Get your checkbook.
Park still needs to happen. A pool,
Y'all didn't even want to do
General liability.
No, that's
expensive.
we would. If we're gonna do this. Yeah, we part of the park is park department's 5 acres.
Just
Got
basic.
about 7. 2 acres.
It's right there at the top.
If you'd like to take that off, or
Just a square pool. It's not like crazy.
community chance to build a clubhouse.
Five acres. 5's the minimum. That shows about 7.
Where's Douglas County stand on this whole thing?
So, great.
We haven't submitted to them
Yeah,
yet.
great question. So
But
there's
who's on the planning committee to submit it to them?
Are any of you on the planning committee for Douglas County?
No.
Shea on the planning committee?
No.
I'm on the planning committee for Douglas County.
Okay. How do we get to you and tell you what we really want as a piece?
There would be a process that they'd have to initiate. First thing would be, I don't know if it's in the comprehensive master plan. This is urban. It is? Yeah. So then they would start off with zoning and annexations and PD would be the initial.
Let's back up. Committee and commission are two different things.
I'm on the commission.
You are on the planning commission, and who are you?
Edward Cooper.
Okay.
Yep. I also live in Meridian.
Are you for or against?
I have just heard about this and I didn't know what their to just listen to hear what they
I
have to
thought
say.
they did a thing the other night on television. Talking about this.
They could show up at any given time because it's not just.
Not that I
They haven't
anything to do
There
with
might be
this.
a kid or two that want to drive. It's going to be their friends, their family.
There's a guest parking ratio. It's a great point. And so it's a half of a space per unit. So if you have 150 for 75 spaces.
Yes, and when
Yeah,
it
but
comes
that's
to
1.06.
occupants,
It doesn't even cover the household in some houses.
That's per bedroom.
Right.
That's per bedroom, not per unit. So bedroom. So if you have a 3-bedroom, 100 spaces. Plus, on top of that, there's a ratio per guest. So each unit has a half of a guest space per unit.
Added on to that?
yeah.
No, it's included in the
Drop it there.
It's one per bedroom.
Right.
So,
But there could be 2 kids in a bedroom, they both drive.
well, if they
Plus
both
their
drive,
friends
yeah.
want to party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, I
Yeah,
used
good
to
friends
live in
want
an
to party.
apartment
Yeah, how many?
not making income.
Yeah, right. It's the same as my house. If I have a party, so we're parking under 3 base.
Well, that's what I'm worried about is how many cars are going to be lining our street.
So we base those numbers off of our existing portfolio of affordable housing that uses the same ratios, and we have not had any concerns on it.
You should drive it.
Where is it?
Your numbers that you're using right now, are they in areas like Douglas County,
Yep,
or are
yeah,
they
right
in
down the
areas
street.
that are closer to public transportation?
Right down the street. There's no public transit. It's definitely
Do you have an address? You keep saying right down the
Yeah.
street, an address.
so Apex, south, east, and west. You can just Google it.
Apex.
No, it's in Meridian. Meridian.
Isn't there a public transit right next
See, that's
to it?
right next to
About a
RTD.
mile and a half away is
pretty
a,
close.
but you have to go down. You have to go over the highway to get to the Lincoln station.
It's not this one down here.
No, we don't have this one.
So I have a question. I spent 3 years as the Affordable Housing Administrator for Oakwood Homes for their for sale product in the city and county of Denver. And so there are a lot of rules, like you guys are talking about preference for teachers and things like that, which is great. But there's also an opportunity for you guys to create your own overlays where it becomes rather than a preference, it becomes an actual requirement, so that we could maybe we can confirm that a certain percentage of those units will be specifically for teachers and people that work in our community.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can't narrow it to. It's a fair housing issue to narrow it down
right,
to.
but let's say
teachers
government
not doing
employees or public, for housing, or excuse me, for teachers and other school district employees, are you guys willing to create that commitment on your side as an overlay above and beyond whatever the preference would be?
I don't
know. Well, within the confines of the state bill that passed, we will have how this works. And yes, when that is in a place to share, we will absolutely share it.
Because preference can mean a lot of
No,
things.
completely understand where you're coming from. right?
You said earlier you guys were going to donate 7 acres per park, and you said Meridian Metro had it in their budget, but we fund Meridian Metro.
Yeah,
So
the
essentially, we would pay for the park to be built, not Shea.
Right, but we would sell you the land and give it to you.
But the parcels, who owns all the parcels right now? Because there's like 7, right? And they're like 7 or 8 different parcels.
It's been consolidated a little bit over time, but yeah, there's the school land that's
Douglas County, Meridian, and then there's another one that's just totally random.
Hey, which HOA are you going to put this one in? We got 5 of them.
I don't know.
We had 9 of them.
Oh, 9 of them. I mean, you're the ones that made the decision for the 9 over here, or we're going to make the decision over here.
I don't know if it should be.
You said you're part of Meridian, so what
Doesn't
HOA
have
is
to
going
be.
to belong to?
Doesn't have to be in an HOA.
Well, then we have a problem too. We have no control whatsoever.
Well, there's
What control do you have now?
Well, actually, I think everybody can agree with me that this is a really nice community. People adhere to the speed limit going down this and going to the roundabouts and all of that, so it's very peaceful. And I just find at my age in life, that's not where I want to go.
I understand.
Would this be considered Section 8?
No.
$1,500?
not Section 8.
Because a lot more
That's a
comes with
specific
Section 8.
designation.
They don't pay $1,500.
Yeah, it's a specific designation. We're not designated.
Can I ask you, I'm sorry, try for like 30 basic level of what this meeting is, other than us bitching at you, right?
Pretty much.
So yeah, I understand. I mean, it's not going to be that big of a difference, right? So you guys have this lot, you're going to propose the apartments with the park to the city council or the planning, and then we get a chance to vote. Is that sort of what this
No,
is?
no,
We don't get a chance to vote on if you can repurpose the land.
No, it doesn't go to vote.
It doesn't go to vote.
No, the planning commission is in place to represent.
Oh, so you submit it to the commission and they vote.
And we submit it first to the planning department. They review it, and then it gets submitted to the planning department, planning commission, and then it goes to board of control.
And there's multiple steps for public involvement.
Yeah, so where's our step to talk at the first level?
So there's a referral period where the adjacent landowners get notice of what's going on, and at that point you have a means to submit information, right? A letter, whatever you want, right? And then there's a public hearing as well prior to
That's what the sign is.
Yeah.
Got correct.
Yeah.
All right, thank
I don't know. But there's a little more to the study that's underground. To design this, you think wide. Around. Yes.
How many are they designed to hold? How many units?
This concept's about 50.
3 buildings.
Well, I know 3 buildings, but how many apartments?
Includes that solar panels on that roof. You wouldn't be able to see that.
We'll do the 150.
See that.
Is there a need for
It's pretty close, yeah. You might see the whole level. You might see the power line.
Not an architect, not a builder.
It's a great question. So
Especially if they level it with the street.
Sure. And then try to also meet the needs of, sure. We're in a housing crisis, right? I mean, it was mentioned earlier that the cost of homes is really high, right? People need a place to live. People are leaving Colorado for the first time in like 20 plus years. People are leaving Colorado because of how unaffordable it is. This is a way to help people do that, and we have incredible stories from our communities that have been in place since 2015 of people that come in and they rent here, right, at a place like this, and they save and they buy a house, right? Those are the stories.
Not going to argue with you. Not gonna push back on that. Ed, I hate to put you on the spot, but as far as procedures with the planning commission goes, being a resident here, do you have to identify that? Do you have to recuse yourself from any votes on this development?
This is my first time learning anything about this.
Okay. But I mean, if they get the football all the way down the field and it's up to the planning commission, do you have to divulge that you're a resident here and you have to, or do you have to recuse yourself from that vote?
I'm not sure. I'd have to speak with the county attorney on that because I'm a resident here. Usually, if I, profit in some way, then I would have to recuse. But generally, I'm still, concerned, bring system, but I have to be independent and review their process, their entitlements, and as long as they meet the criteria that we, the planning commission, has to hold our standards to, I should be able to be involved. Right.
So when you go up to Stone Gate, they have a humongous park, this size, for the neighborhood. That's what we want. Am I correct? We would like this all to be parked for our kids and our teens that have nowhere other than the roads and stuff like that. That will kind of finish up the work. We're glad it's there because it's not big enough.
And they are required to have a certain amount of open space and park for much of their build out is going to be. There are certain percentages that they'll have to meet as far as open space and park space. They've got more than they needed at the 5 acres or equivalent to. So I can't say until they go through the entitlement process, which will take us months, probably years, if it depends how far you're down on the process. You're looking at least a year to 18 months before they'll even get to a point where they can submit it to the Douglas County staff for package review, before it would even come to so we're looking at least we're talking about council. Crow's Nest last night. Douglas County was picking up I was in the council last night, right? Well, that's what I think I saw. What we did last night was an LNE extension for more water.
I saw something, they had a map of getting up the spaces of this county.
Well, and that would be more on the board side than the planning commission side.
So when you drive through our wonderful town, you see lots of open spaces. Why this one?
Why develop this?
Yeah, why develop this one versus all the other ones that are closer to amenities and things
We don't
like
own
that?
the other one. Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things here.
Well,
So
you
this
could
was
buy
never.
them.
We're telling you don't own this one either, right?
You don't own this, right?
Right.
So you have to buy this.
This has been vacant for years because the school district hasn't found the need for it. And so this was always intended to be developed in conjunction with having a park. And so we're committed to doing an awesome park. Like, I hear you. I have a 2-year-old.
I like the
love
park.
nothing more
I
than
don't
to
like
see
3-story
kids playing.
buildings.
It will be
It
something.
doesn't fit in, man. Look at this.
It will
Is it
be
gonna have a
something.
regular roof, like a flat roof, or like a built-out roof like over there?
That's a really good question. So when we try and become part of the neighborhood, we're taking cues from the surrounding development and trying to make it feel part of the neighborhood. So if it's my vote on the table, it's pitched roofs to match the adjacent development.
Are you an architect?
I'm not an architect, but I coordinate with our architects to try and bring the vision to life, and I appreciate that question because it's really important.
Here's another thing. Even if you gifted the land, which is awesome, okay? I can't speak for everybody, but, well, no, we'd rather stay there. Well, it's a, but anyway, if Shea or Douglas County offered to build us our little area for the community center and the pool and all that, then maybe a lot of people would go, well, okay, we're getting something. Where if you're not, you're just going to give us the land, now we got a several $1 million project going. And that's not very good if some of these people don't want to raise their HOAs one dime.
Well, if it's not us doing this, it will be someone else.
Something will happen.
I like Shea. They
Well,
build a nice property. But that being said, there's a lot of issues here.
I understand. And our job is to listen, solve as many as we can, and some we can't solve.
Sounds like there's a timeline in place, and I appreciate you giving that. One thing I think for future notes and for future meetings, seems to me that a big stakeholder that should be here and taking some of these, jabs along with, and I say that they should be here offering the commitment, and that's whoever's going to be responsible for the park. Because I mean, for Shea to have to say, well, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, but half the project's missing.
Okay.
Even if they concede and we work through the apartment and the apartment piece to it, what we don't have worked through, to your point, is what the park looks like. You know, and I fully envision and see how this could end up, and maybe you could say, no, that's not how it's gonna go, but I see half of this just like it is right now. You know, if we don't get the other piece of this here and have them committing the way that Shea has committed, well, here's what we're going to do and here's what we're going to do. I mean, I heard us go from 300 apartments to 150.
It's 150. It's never been 300.
Well, okay. I take that back. My apologies to you. I hear 150. Period, paragraph. Period, paragraph, 150. But what I don't hear, and no one's here to speak to that, is what the park looks like. Okay. You know, I understand. It's because I'm not 5 years.
Metro has on the
All right, can we just cut to the chase? Quick question. We will get a letter from the Metro District that we can show you at the park. So we're committing.
Yeah.
Can you clarify what is your
But I guess what I'm saying too, a letter would be great, but I know that will be bare bones and that will leave a lot of windows of opportunity for them. I think it would be nice for them to be here, and like I've said to you, share the burden of hearing from these residents that, okay, if this is how this goes in a period of 16 to 18 months, maybe 2 years, what does it look like for you? How are you holding your funds? How are you working with the residents for the park piece? Yeah.
What's your plan to meet the requirements for public transport?
We don't have one.
So you don't know what you're going to do yet?
No.
And I want to add just one other thing too that I think is really important, and I think everybody needs to have an understanding. And maybe a lot of people here have thought about this, but the traffic studies now and the traffic studies in 18 months are going to look drastically different. If you even drive up and down Ridgegate, and you even have your eyes open when you drive down Ridgegate, and you know what's going in there, and you know what that's going to do to all of us in here, and granted, a little bit of infrastructure being put in, and Lone Tree's Planning Commission, Douglas's Planning Commission have had to recognize this, but you have a King Soopers that guaranteed to the city of Lone Tree they will clear $1 billion a year in revenue in that store.
That's
Yep.
ridiculous.
And the apartments.
No, that's not going to be this.
So I would just admonish the whole group, including Shea, that the traffic study today and the traffic study in 18 months is going to look drastically different. The traffic has looked different in the 11 years that I've lived out here. You know, Ridgegate is just going to.
We understand the problem.
Yeah.
We'll update the traffic.
Yeah.
Would it need to be completely rezoned too? Like the clubhouse and all that, like that's what we were promised. I understand that they also promised they were going to build the school when we signed our contract. But I mean, that it had to be completely rezoned because the fire station part or school. None of those are happening.
I'm not clear on your question.
To make this part of like an existing community, the clubhouse, our own, like another, it's just an extension of Meridian Village, not that. We would have to rezone it and own the property as well.
No, I don't think so.
Because right now it's owned by 3 different entities.
Yeah, that's got to get cleaned up.
Right.
Yeah, no,
But
you
it's
wouldn't
not
have that.
owned by Meridian Village at all.
The PD already says that. So park is with.
I understand that there's going to be a part of talking about not even doing the housing, but making like clubhouse and not even considering this clubhouse. You know, I'm just saying, yeah, not this at all. So that's a whole different.
Yeah.
That's not.
And if more than likely won't have so much time to take this up.
What else can you guys do?
We're here for your question. We showed you what.
As I see it, you got one exit that way and one exit that way. And is there an extra lane for the people to get out before they merge?
We don't know that, but usually there's a decel and an XL.
Okay.
But
It's all part of the traffic.
we get traffic numbers.
Are we gonna have dates that are important dates for us to be able to look it over?
We on the
and vote?
Douglas County website. We don't have a date yet.
Or no?
We haven't submitted.
We have to go on and check. You're not
Put
gonna
a
let us know
board
anything.
up and that's all you got.
There'll be a
You'll be
board and there'll be
notified.
notices that are sent to all the adjacent
Do we get something in the mail?
Yes, yes, part of the process.
Everybody
One
here?
note on that, I talked to the planning commission. One day we had a meeting over there, and it's only people like in 100 yards or something like that, so
It's specified.
it's only gonna be like these people here,
Uh-oh.
and probably
We'll pass
not
it
even
on.
those, maybe.
Oh, they could know.
We'll pass it on.
Well,
Don't
So
worry.
now
pass
you
it on,
go-
right? Jean's been great about coordinating with everybody,
There'll be a
so
sign up, right?
it'll come up, there'll be a
That comes
sign.
later.
Neighbors here, they're all connected already, will get notice. We're not trying to hide from anyone, obviously, that's why we're here, right?
It's not like everybody in Meridian Village is gonna know.
No. But what I did was I shared the information about this meeting with John to then email out to the whole community. So as long as everyone's on that email list with the HOA of all Meridians, we also shared it with Sierra Ridge and Stepping Stone just to spread the word out about this opportunity.
Sure, yeah.
Is the survey still up?
Well, thank you for
Vote down this?
volunteering.
petition's
I'm
still
not.
up.
Petition?
I don't know.
It's still up.
What's the next step?
Well, if you'd like another meeting, we're more than happy to. I'm not sure how much.
There's certain studies based on the real world example.
There's a major
I'm sorry.
I got a text from you.
Based on the real world example.
I sent an email to John
Yeah, I told him about 3 years ago.
the one who runs our HOA,